Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets, just call it Valerian, is a new sci-fi film from writer and director Luc Besson, who brought us Leon the Professional, The Fifth Element, Lucy, Taken, and the Transporter series. I gotta say, anytime I see Luc Besson's name attached to a film, I get a little worried because he's hit or miss with me. I didn't really like the two Taken sequels. I didn't like 3 Days to Kill. The Fifth Element is more of a guilty pleasure movie. I actually have it. It's right behind me. It's a guilty pleasure movie that is a sci-fi film that tries to be serious but takes itself really less serious than it's trying to be. And the trailers for Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets looked really off-putting. From the trailers, it looked like this movie was going to suck. But I gave this movie a chance, and I gotta say, it's actually not terrible. It's not good, but it was definitely better than I thought it was going to be. Still not good. What I liked about this movie is visually, this world that this movie creates looks stunning. This movie is very colorful. There are lots of colors to be seen. Almost kind of like as colorful as a Pixar film, which is very surprising. There were a lot of colors on display in this movie, and I couldn't help but admire that. I was like, this has some really good colors in it. I am really liking the scenery and the visuals that I am seeing. And to an extent, the action scenes in this movie were actually fun and entertaining. The action scenes in this movie, at least a couple of them, do something that I did not expect them to do, and I actually wanted the rest of them to do. I'm not going to spoil it in case you haven't seen the movie, but I was like, I am on board with this. The action scenes in the movie continue to do this. I'm on board with it, because it was really cool the way that they weaved it into the story and how it worked in the film. And I was just taken aback. I was like, this is a really good idea for an action scene. And speaking of ideas, this movie has some very good ideas, some very good groundwork for a really good sci-fi movie. And these ideas were explored in the movie. And I really wanted to see these ideas explored in different ways than they were, but the ways that they were explored were pretty interesting. However, good ideas can also lead to poor execution, and that's what many of the ideas in this movie were. Though some of them explored and expanded on the mythology this movie sets up, some of them weren't explored enough, and I wanted to see more of that. I wanted to see it go in different directions than they did. Even though the directions they took were interesting enough, I was just thinking, if they went this way, it would have worked better, for me at least. I also think that there are so many science fiction ideas crammed into this movie that there is too much going on. This movie represents a theme, and that theme is love conquers all, and that really hammers home towards the end. I didn't really buy it, the way they did it. It just, I don't know, it didn't feel natural, the way the movie was presenting that theme to me. It was very all jumbled and choppy and very sloppy. The characters in this film are very non-existent. They have little development. When they are going on their missions, I was thinking to myself, watching this movie, I was like, why do I even care right now? It really wasn't anything in terms of character development. It's just like, hey, we work for this Federation, let's go do some missions. Okay? I guess? You could have given me a reason to care. The acting in this film was also not that great. Cara Delevigne, or Delevigne, however you say her name, yeah, I'm not a fan of her. I hated her as Enchantress in Suicide Squad. I thought she was the worst part of that movie. In this, she improves, but she, improves in the way Megan Fox improved her performance in Transformers 2 from Transformers 1. Yeah, Cara Delevigne is about as functional as Megan Fox was in Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. DeHaan, I liked him in Lawless, and I liked him in The Place Beyond the Pines. I don't get the guy, though. I gotta have that super duper deep voice, you know? Gotta make people know that I'm a tough guy. Also didn't help that Dane DeHaan and Cara Delevigne had very little on-screen chemistry in this movie. Yeah, that's bad when you're trying to sell these two heroes as lovers. No, did not work. Clive Owen was overacting, and I don't know what was up with Ethan Hawke in this movie, but he was in one scene, and he was atrocious. I have never seen Ethan Hawke give a bad performance. That was atrocious. This movie also really lacks a central antagonist. An antagonist is revealed at the end of the second act, but you could see it coming, it was very predictable, and most of the movie doesn't even have that central antagonist in it. Most of the movie really focuses on Dane DeHaan and Cara Delevigne just saving each other. Really made for a very uneventful middle of the movie. It was putting me to sleep at times. As Valerian wasn't atrocious like I thought it was going to be. It was nowhere near as bad as it could have been. It wasn't good, though. It's just kind of eh. That central antagonist, ideas aren't really explored all that far. The acting is not that great, and the chemistry between the two main leads isn't good. It's not there. There was some fun in the action scenes. There was some fun and entertaining set pieces to be had in those scenes. There were some ideas that really worked, and visually, a very colorful movie, which I really enjoyed looking at. A movie that, honestly, if it was on sale on Blu-ray at Best Buy for like $6 or $7, I would pick it up. Now, you can just skip this in the theater and wait for it to come on Netflix or rent it on iTunes. It's not worth buying on Blu-ray or anything. I am going to give Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets a C. Thank you for watching this review of Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. I'm sorry it's late. I was going to get it out on Wednesday. Something came up. Couldn't go to the press screening. You can like me on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter. You're on YouTube. Subscribe at the end of this video and take a look at some other videos I have done. You guys are the best. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.